welcome back to my channel. Today is Friday and that means it's shot day. So if you're new here, my name is Pamela and I am on a weight loss journey using lifestyle modification and a little help from some compounded tirzepatide. Today I will be doing my 24th injection and then I'm going to give a recap of my 23rd week results. I do have my medication here. My hands are already washed and I'm going to go ahead and clean off the top of my vial. And I have a bit of sad news today. After 8 weeks on 5 milligrams, it's time for me to go up. And I'm a little disappointed because I did not want to go up to a higher dose yet because y'all know I'm on a compound and I'm trying to make my compound last as long as possible because who knows what tomorrow brings. Compound could be shut down and gone away and I'll be out of medicine and I'll be having to come up with $500-600 a month like everybody else who's not covered by their insurance for Zepbound, paying out of pocket, and your girl just can't do that. I got too many bills, and I am a single income household, other than, you know, my kids have jobs, but they pay for their own stuff. But as far as the bills, the mortgage, the, you know, all that, I ain't got nobody to split that with. So all my compound money is all the money I got. That, you know, I don't have an extra $500 a month to spend on this medication. So I'm trying to stretch my little compound out as long as I can. And by going up in a dose, it's going to cause my compound to not last as long. But I digress. So today I will be doing 6 milligrams. And if you have been following my journey, you know I started on 2.5. After 5 weeks on 2.5, I went up to 5 milligrams and it like was way too strong for me. So I gradually dose up. I cannot just jump from the 2.5 to 5 to the 7.5. My body cannot tolerate that. I have to gradually dose up. So I ended up going to 3 milligrams, was on that for a little bit, went up to 4, was on that for a little bit, went up to 5. I've been on 5 for 8 weeks now. And yeah, my body's just not liking it anymore. And the food noise over this week has been, actually over the past few weeks, has progressively been getting worse and worse. And this week was just, I just couldn't do it anymore. So I reached out, healthcare provider is on board. We are going up to 6 milligrams. So for my compound, that is gonna be 35 units. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my syringe and pull it back to 35. Guys, I also went to the eye doctor this week and I've got some temporary contacts right now because my vision, Lord, my vision is horrible and my vision in my eyes is different. And I'm of a certain age where I need multifocal lenses. So I've got contact lenses, but they didn't have the multifocal in. So I just have some temporary contacts, just some single vision lenses in right now that seem to be working pretty good. I still do need to put my reading glasses, if I could speak. Jeez, Lord Louise. I still need to put my reading glasses on to see things close up sometimes, but for the most part, I can see pretty good with these contacts. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw up this syringe, and all I did so far was I pulled the syringe back to the 35 to put some air in the syringe, and now I injected the air into the vial, and now I'm drawing out the medication, and no air bubbles. I'm at 40. I'm gonna push it back up to 35 and pull it straight out. Now I'm gonna set this down on my counter while I prep my injection site. Last week I did my upper right abdomen. Today I'm gonna be doing my upper left abdomen. So I'm just gonna pull my shirt up here, and we're gonna be doing upper left abdomen. And if y'all remember, I said last week, I do not like doing my upper abdomen. That spot just always seems to be a little less pain-free than my lower abdomen. And last week it wasn't too bad. My left side tends to be worse than my right side, so Lord willing, we'll be okay today. So now this has dried. I've got my syringe here. I'm just going to pinch a little spot and poke this in. And yes, I did feel that, but not too bad. And we are just about done. Get one more alcohol swab, wipe my belly off, and take one more and wipe off the top of my vial. Now, I'm gonna get all this cleaned up, and then I'll be back in just a minute, so stay tuned. All right, so let's go over my results from week 23. I just gave my 24th injection, so I'm starting my 24th week, almost at 6 months, guys. So for week 23, just to recap, I'm 5'2". I am 54 years old, postmenopausal, and when I started my journey on November 22nd of 2024, I was 196.9 pounds. I am using compounded tirzepatide. I started off with 2.5 milligrams, did that for 5 weeks. Then I went up to 5 milligrams, could not tolerate that, so I bumped back down to 3 milligrams, did that for a few weeks, and just kind of gradually worked my way back up to 5 milligrams. I was on 5 milligrams for about 8 weeks, and now I have just titrated up to 6 milligrams or 5.95. And so this is going to be my first week on 5.95 milligrams, and we'll see how this goes. Last week, when I weighed in, I was 162.2 pounds. When I weighed in this week, I was also 162.2 pounds. And to be honest, the weight has absolutely nothing to do with me titrating up. I knew that my weight would probably stall a little bit as I'm trying to bump my calories up, because honestly, prior to about a month ago, maybe a little bit more, I was only eating around 900 to 1,000 calories a day, which is, one, not sustainable, but two, not healthy. And so I needed to try to get my calorie intake up. And I was gradually increasing it about 200 calories, I say a week, but when I could maintain adding 200 calories, I would bump it up to another 200 calories. So it was kind of like a week to a week and a half. I was trying to bump up 200. So currently I am maintaining at about 15 to 1600 calories on average. So I kind of expected my body to go through some, wait a minute, what's going on? You were only eating 1,000 calories. Now you're eating 1600 calories. you know, I expected the weight not to move as rapidly, which I'm perfectly fine with. What I'm not happy with and what ultimately made me want to titrate up was the fact that the food noise has gradually been increasing over the last few weeks. And this week that just passed was the worst. I almost felt like I wasn't even taking the GLP-1 anymore. And I don't think it has anything to do with the specific compound, because I've been on this one that I'm taking now is from Empower. I started with a compound from Empower and it worked perfectly fine. Even at the 2.5, I felt the effects. And titrating up, again, I couldn't titrate up too fast because it was too powerful. So I don't think it's the compound. I think it's just that my body is now used to 5 milligrams. And because it's been a slow progression of the food noise getting worse, it just seems like my body has been adapting, or the 5 milligrams just isn't working like it used to. So we're going to see how this 5.95 is working this week and take it from there. In addition to the food noise this week, I can't really say I've had any other symptoms or side effects from the medication. I have been drinking more water this week. I've been making it a point to not drink my Coke Zeros consistently, which is the main thing that I've been drinking outside of water. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you probably know that I used to drink a whole lot of Crystal Light. And when I started my GLP-1 journey, it just did not taste as appealing anymore. And so I kind of shied away from the Crystal Light. At the beginning of my journey, I was drinking a lot of clear proteins, and even those now are too sweet for me. I have been drinking lately a lot of hydration packets with my water. Either Element is my hydration packet or hydration drink of choice. However, Element is quite expensive. So I kind of save those for the days where I'm really feeling dehydrated, or if I'm working out, or if I just know I have not been drinking enough water, then I'll use the Element. Other than that, I believe it's called Pure Kick. I'll see if I can find a picture and put it in. But I found this at my local HEB grocery store, and they have hydration packets and energy packets, and those are pretty good, and I think it was like $1.25 to $1.50 a box, and I think there's 10 in a box. So those are fairly cheap for hydration. And so I usually drink 1 or 2 of those throughout the day, and that's been helping me not drink my sodas. So definitely a win there. And they are 0 sugar, so double win. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week. I did not lose anything. I did not gain anything. I'm perfectly fine with that. Titrating up because of the food noise, not because of the weight loss. And we're going to see how this goes. Hopefully the food noise will not be as bad this week. And to be honest, I feel like even though I'm going up in my calories, I might expect to not lose or to even gain. But because of the fact that I'm maintaining, it lets me know that that calorie level is probably where I want to be. But the fact that the food noise is so strong, I think that is part of what may be causing me to make poorer food choices. So I'm going to be a little more strict about some of the snack foods that I bring into the house. A lot of what I have is either high fiber, high protein, low sugar, but they are a lot of processed foods. So I'm going to try to steer away from that as much as possible and get as many calories as I can from whole foods. So there's a thought. That's what I'm going to do this week. I'm going to try to pick up some more fruits and vegetables and see if I can incorporate getting more calories in that way rather than using protein bars or other types of quick grab and go snacks, because fruits are pretty much grab and go. As long as you've washed them, they should be ready to eat for the most part. So I think that's what I'm going to do this week, so that way I can still get my calories up, but do it in a way that I'm not eating as much processed food. And we'll see how this week goes. That's going to be it for my week 23 results. And I'll be back next week with my week 24 results. And I may have a little video somewhere in between of a try-on haul because I had to buy new clothes this week. So y'all stay tuned for that. If you haven't hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, make sure you do that so you'll be notified when I upload those videos. And until then, stay blessed.